Hey, it's Holly. In today's video, I am just giving you an update, a very chaotic update on my collection and what's been going on. If you've seen some of my cataloging videos in the past, I had a system for cataloging and quite frankly, my system fell apart. I was just kind of grabbing things here and there to film my videos and wasn't staying organized, wasn't up to date on making sure that all the stuff I received got cataloged right away, and well, it fell apart. I'm going to explain properly in the video, so let's just get started. Okay, so today we are going to just be going over a little update on my collection, and I have so much to show you. First, let's start off with what I picked up today. So I went out to check out a toy store that is not particularly local to me, but it's roughly about an hour's drive away. And I managed to pick up this beautiful compact. No pieces here, but I don't have any of these Happen in Hair collection sets yet, so I was excited to just have one to put on the shelf. So that was my first pickup today. That I want to say was a little on the pricier side. It was about $20, but really excited to have that one. I also picked up some just random pieces. So the neat thing about this store is that they get a lot of vintage poly stuff in stock, but then they piece it out if it doesn't come with a set. So for example, if they got a huge dump of sets and then there were pieces that didn't go with them, they just separate them out so that you can buy them individually, which sounds like the right thing to do. My first thing that I picked up immediately was this pink cart from the Little Pets carts. And I have that, and I think I showed it in one of my last cataloging videos that I did. And I have that tin here that I had put it in. The one that I had, hopefully you can see this, it's pretty mangled. So it's quite, all the other ones in the set are totally fine, but this one is kind of like chewed up. So I was able to get one that is not like that. It is in great condition. So I'm going to be swapping that one out, and then I'm going to have a duplicate of this. So I'm not doing that just yet because I don't want to throw off my system. But that was the first thing that I picked up, was this little cart. I also picked up some pieces for other things that I have that are either in my collection or duplicates, or maybe don't even have yet. This is a canoe from the 1994 Home on the Go, and I picked this one up just because I do have a duplicate set that does not have the canoe. So now I have a canoe for that one, so just a slightly more complete duplicate. I also picked up two sleds, and these are from, gosh, what is the name of that? I'm just literally going to look it up here while we're doing this. This is from the Vacation Fun set, and it is called Snow Mountain, which I do not yet have, but they had two of the sleds from Snow Mountain, so I picked those up. Just because a lot of the stuff that's from like 95, 96, 97, the pieces that go missing, there's just not as much of it floating around, so they're a bit harder to get. So I picked up two of those sleds. So if I end up with one that doesn't have it, great, and if not, I can always sell that off to another collector. I managed to get, I was pretty excited about this one. It might not look like much, but this is a skirt. There are a lot of different sets that come with skirts, and I haven't taken a moment to identify if this goes with multiple, but I am just going to check it out here. So I'm just on the Only Polly Pocket website, and Barbara's put together an amazing identification section. So I'm just looking up the skirts here. So this one was part of the Glitter Wedding Locket, the Garden Sparkle Locket, and the Glitter Dreams Locket. So this is a great piece to have, because if I get any of those three lockets and it does not have a skirt, there we go, magically I have one. So A great thing to have in my bin, ready to go if I do end up with one of those. I'm sure I will at some point. Then I got, these are tiny little pieces from the 1996 Sweet Roses. Again, just a lot of the stuff that's later in the vintage era, vintage 1989 to 1997, is harder to come across. So this is a tiny little bouquet of roses, and I presume this is supposed to be a vase. They do kind of clip into there, which is quite cute. I do not have that compact yet. And then this was the one I was really excited about today. This is from the Carnival Queen bracelet. This is a little sort of almost like a Mardi Gras mask. And I know that the Carnival Queen is really hard to come by complete. So finding a piece for it was good, because the likelihood is that at some point, if I do come across it, it may not be complete, and it's good to have the pieces. So those are the pieces I picked up. And again, if you've followed along, I've talked about sort of how I purchase my sets. A lot of the time I do purchase them in lots off eBay or from other collectors. But I do look at thrift stores, and I've never found anything until today. So today I was able to pick up for 99 cents. This was the thrill of a lifetime. Not complete by any means, but just great to have it, because everything that's missing could easily be replaced. So there's no figures, and it's missing what I've determined is the baby mobile. But the nice thing about this is that the piece that's missing isn't broken. It's just something that kind of hinges in there. So if I do find a replacement, I could just pop it in. But it's got the sort of baby gate at the front. It has the moving pieces here with the, I think they're supposed to be like jolly jumpers. And most importantly, the door is still there. The doors are really likely to be broken off on polycompacts. So I've never seen one of these at a thrift store before, at least not since I've been collecting them. And, you know, I see posts about people finding them all the time, but it's never happened to me. And I'm glad I kept looking, because there it was. I audibly gasped, and I was super, super excited to find that today. So, so that was my other pickup today. So aside from that, you may recall from my previous cataloging video that I had been going through my sets and trying to catalog my backlog, and it kind of went sideways. What I ended up doing was taking everything off of my shelves and actually putting them on my dining room table. Kudos to my husband for not losing his mind over that, because they lived there for about 2 weeks while I cataloged everything. So I have actually recatalogued everything into a new spreadsheet. So I'm gonna pull that up here on the screen. And I've done it in Excel this time, just because I found that I really need the ability to use some of the powerful features of Excel, like sorting, to be able to manage the amount of stuff that I have now. So this was a long time coming. But when I'm making these videos, you know, sometimes I will just grab random things that I haven't cataloged yet. I'll put all the video together, and then everything just kind of got mixed up. And it's not a good thing to mix stuff up when you have a collection, because it got out of control. And I felt the only way to deal with it was to start from scratch. So here we are. So I'm just going to walk through how I have now laid out my spreadsheet, and I'm going to show you my updated storage bins, and then I'm going to take you over to my collection and show you what it looks like on display at the moment. So here's my poly collection. Right now I have 152 sets that I am hanging on to. So that might seem like quite a lot. But I've realized that there's a lot I still don't have. So I would say, like, I feel like I'm kind of like halfway there. But that's how many I currently have in the collection. This is what I'm going to keep. So there are some things that are variations, so that's not necessarily unique sets, but these are things that I'm choosing to keep that are variations, or that maybe I have two that, for whatever reason, I mean, I'll explain it as we go. So I have this currently sorted by year, and then by the Bluebird name, and then by complete status as well. So it's actually sorted by complete status first. So you'll see as I scroll through here, all of these say complete no. And things that are no, I have tried to make notes of what I am missing. Clearly I have missed a few as I went through here, but I've tried to make notes of all the things that I'm missing so that I have that available. So on a day like today, when I was out looking for stuff, it was great because I knew that I was missing this from one of my duplicates, which I have a separate spreadsheet for that. But it was easier for me to kind of look, hey, am I missing this? So you can see that I have, if I highlight these, actually, let's see here. So of my sets that I have currently, that I'm keeping, 38 of them are not complete. So I've just made notes of what I'm missing, any kind of condition that there is. So some of them are, as you can see here, rough shape. I do have a few that are just really in rough shape, or are missing doors that are broken off. So some of that stuff may or may not permanently be in my collection, but for now, if it's the only one that I have, it's there. And then down below, I have all of my stuff that is complete. And I've also just visually marked it with sort of color coding it and then also bolding the name of it so that I can see that at a glance what is complete. And you can see the good news is I do have quite a few complete sets, which is really, really exciting. So I've tried to put in the Bluebird name and the Mattel name just so that I can differentiate between the two. And so that if I see a listing somewhere for something that I want or I'm not super familiar with, that I can look for it in my spreadsheet quickly and just by doing a quick search. And regardless of whether it is, you know, advertised with the Bluebird name or Mattel name, I can find it. So I chose to put both in for that reason. And then any, again, condition notes I've put in here, what type it is, and then if it's part of a collection. So I've tried to keep this as organized as possible just because sometimes I like to do series of videos. Like for example, I like to do a bunch of Polyville videos. I would be able to sort by, hey, what do I have that's complete, that's part of Polyville, and then on top of that, I have made a column to talk about whether I've done a video on it or not. And the ones that I've highlighted yellow are ones that I have complete that I haven't done a video on, just to remind me that those are some good options if I want to just do a toy tour, that I can go grab those and do a video on them. So you can see there's a lot that I still haven't shown you. And most of the stuff that's not complete I haven't shown you just because I do prefer to show you stuff that is complete. I've also made notes of whether they have light or sound involved because, again, I may want to just pull out everything that lights up. So that's kind of how I've put that all together. I've made a note of just going in and writing when I last updated it as well. So that is important, just as another thing to help me keep track. So then the second tab of my spreadsheet, I have a duplicates tab. And as you can see here, I have 82 duplicates. Currently I have 2 Rubbermaid bins just full of duplicates, but my idea with this is eventually when I have things either complete and or depending on the situation, who knows what that's going to look like in the future, but these are things that I do not intend to keep at the moment. So I haven't decided to sell anything off yet. So before anyone asks, I'm not currently selling any of this stuff, but as you can see, I have quite a few duplicates, and in some cases, 3 of those I have, and these are not including the ones I want to keep, right? These are just the duplicates, like an extra 4 of these zoo ones. And that's not including the one I have that is complete. So 5 extra of the Zoo World, but you know, it happens. So not very many of them are complete. Unfortunately, of my duplicates, I have 16 that are complete, and the ones that I've marked in yellow are ones that I feel like are in really good condition. So I do have a few that are like great condition, but as you can see, some of my ones that are complete, like this one is complete in terms of the figures, but it's missing a door. Some of the flocking is worn on these puppies in this one. The lights don't work. It's missing a door. Fairies have missing wings, right? So lots going on there. But the good news is that I did just get a whole bunch more stuff in as well. So I am going to be able to update this. So that is my duplicate spreadsheet. And then my loose figures, I am not done this yet. I am cataloging my loose figures, and I brought them to show you. So let me find them. Where have I put them? Here in this room. Here we go. These are my loose figures. So currently I just have them in a bin. And before, if you've seen me dig through this before, it's kind of insane. There's well over about, I would say, 130 figures in here. And the thing is that these are things that don't have a set to go with right now. So all of the ones that I have duplicates of, if there was a figure, I've put it with it because I want to try to get things as complete as possible. But these are the ones that do not have homes. So what I've done to try to keep this like slightly more organized is I've kind of sorted them roughly into categories. So like, for example, this bag is full of polys that have a perm in their hair. So that's what that bag is. These are polys that have their hair in ponytails. And like, this might seem silly, but it really helps when you're looking for something to just kind of have a rough category so that you can dig through it quite quickly. Just miscellaneous other characters that aren't sort of standard characters. And by standard characters, I mean things like I have, gosh, where are they now? Things that I've already sorted. So I have a bag of one that I've already dug through. So for example, those are Tina's. I have some that are other standard characters like Midge and Lulu. So trying to keep things as sorted as possible. I have a bag full of babies, and then these are extra Enchanted Storybook tiny figures. So the ones that I have in this bag, see, this is why I'm trying to be organized, but as you can see, it's like already half falling apart. These are the ones that I've already cataloged. So that's what's going on there. Now, just looking at my spreadsheet, there are a whole bunch here that I have not cataloged yet. So I'm gonna pull that up. There we are. So I got a lot last week that had a bunch of mostly duplicates in it. And I'm gonna tell you in a moment why I bought that lot, because it was very exciting. But I was thrilled to open it up because there were a lot of figures in there that are excellent that I can use for existing duplicates, again, to kind of make them more complete. And some of these figures that came in the set were just like so good. So for example, I got a complete set of the fairies. And where did she go? There's another one that I am now missing from here. She's around here somewhere. And the other girl from from this set, from the Fairy Wonderland. Some additional just, you know, polys that came with stuff. And then on top of that, I got this beautiful mermaid poly. And she is from a locket, and I'm trying to see where she ended up. I think I did put her in here. I indeed did. There she is. the Pearl Pretty surprise ring. So she made it in there. And that was really exciting because, again, like this is one of the figures that's not super easy to come by. And it's from 1994. I could have told you that based on my spreadsheet. And she is just absolutely in gorgeous condition. She has a really strong joint, so she's not floppy or anything, and her paint is just lovely. So yeah, so that was stuff that's in there. Okay, now the reason I've put them in here is because I understand my process now. This is the bag I had cataloged. There's the other figure from the fairy set. I did go ahead and catalog these ones that I have in my hand, and I can see that they all indeed, these ones that are in here, I have in the spreadsheet at the moment, but I haven't cataloged all of my permed polys yet, so I didn't want to mix them in and then throw myself off. So that's the stuff that's cataloged. This is stuff that's not cataloged. So as you can see, I still have a lot more of my loose figures to go through and catalog, all the way through to including, I have a bag that's just full of animals, a little one that's just miscellaneous pieces of playsets. And then this is my sad friends that need some repair. And my goal with this is some videos down the road to try to rejuvenate some of these sad broken polys, but there they are. So that's the current state of affairs there. So that is the state of my duplicates. Now let's talk about why I bought that lot where I got a bunch of these awesome pieces. I bought a lot that had a bunch of duplicates, and honestly, I don't think I even got a single new set out of it, but I bought it because one, it went for not very much money, and two, I couldn't believe it when I saw it, but there was a supermarket in the set, and it didn't come with any of the figures, but in the photo, just casually laying there, was the groceries. And if you don't understand why this is such a big deal, this is like one of the hardest things to find from that set. And when I did finally get my hands on a supermarket that at least had the car and the shopping cart, because again, a lot of these, they're just missing all their pieces. I didn't have the groceries. That was the one thing I was missing. And my intent was I was going to try to cast myself a duplicate of it, and I do not have to now because there it is. So I was so excited to get my hands on this. Just one of those little things that was just hidden in a listing. And there it was. So couldn't rip that box open fast enough to check it out, but there it was. And so now I have a complete light up supermarket. So I am super thrilled about that. So let's just talk about my, just put this over here. I need to make sure I get all of that stuff cataloged. Let's talk about my other things, my storage bins. So again, if you've been following along and you've seen any of my videos on my collection, then you've probably seen my storage system, which is to basically take the figures out of the sets. I put labels on them showing whether they're complete or not, if I intend to keep it, how many figures came with the set, and then check marks next to the ones that I have. They are then stored inside these metal tins with a silica packet just to make sure that there's no trapped moisture or anything that could cause the tin to rust or the figures to be in any sort of harm. And the reason I use these tins is because they are strong, and I'm super worried about my polys ending up in this situation where their arms are broken off, and I want to avoid that. So this is why I choose to use these. I know a lot of collectors use bags. A lot of collectors just leave them with the set. I like to keep them separate just to make sure nothing gets lost and that they are nice and safe. So that's how I've chosen to do that. So I currently have pre-cataloged all my sets with the exception of the new stuff that I got today and the remainder of these duplicates. But in doing that, I reprinted all of the labels based off of all the stuff that I had. And this is 1989 through 1994 here at the bottom. So those are all of my sets, and you can see I have them all stickered on the spine so that I can check them all out. And then up top here on the other one, bear with me, there is the remainder of those. So my supermarket goes in here somewhere. There we go. So all the way through. So I still obviously can fit a lot more into this bin, which is nice. And I've just made these dividers out of just cardboard, just so that I have something to kind of hold it all together. But I find this is great because then if I go do film a video, like a toy tour, I will just find the set on my shelf, and then I'll find the pieces here, I'll do the toy tour, and then I'll put it back. So that's my intention, is to keep that organized from here on out, because it was a process and it was a lot of work. But at the moment, I have only cataloged, as you can see up in the top corner of the spreadsheet here, I have only cataloged 51 sets, which is, or not sets in this case, figures from my duplicate area, which is what's here. And I still have probably close to another 100 to go. So plus the stuff that I got today, which honestly I should probably put right into a bag and make sure it stays there. So that's where I'm at right now at the moment. There are still a few sets that I am really keen to get, and I'm just going to point them out to you just in case anyone happens to have them for sale. Best thing to do is to send me a message on Instagram, by the way, if you do have something that you would be willing to offer up. So there's a few that I'm looking for at the moment. One of them is the circus wagon on the go. I would love this set complete. I just think that this little collie dog is so cute. So that's one of them. I do not have from Polyville the dance studio, which looks like this, nor do I have the dress shop. I'm still looking for those two. Bear with the ads on this website. The ice cream parlor. Gosh, I would love to have the ice cream parlor. And the other one that I'm really, really keenly looking for at the moment is the Style and Salon. This is the one that I am missing from my childhood. So that's what that looks like. Of course, I had it complete, which, you know, crushes me in hindsight. But that is sort of the main thing. I don't have any of these sort of arts and crafts sets other than the few stamp sets that I have, but I don't have the picture pattern maker, the earring case. There's a lot of different pencil cases and stamper sets that I don't have at the moment. And I also do not have a lot of things from 1996. So these storybooks that have the keys on the front, I don't have the classroom on the go. I would love this. I just think this one is so cute. It's basically like a reskinned RV. It's very similar, but I would love that one. And the pet surgery, so the vet hospital would be great. A lot of these sets that were sort of carnival focused, I also do not have those. And I did just get, sorry, this particular set was in the lot I got that had all of the duplicates and figures and all that good stuff. And the groceries most importantly, but it didn't come with any of the figures and it didn't come with the bottle stopper. So I don't currently have really any of these sets. So the Starshine Palace, Sweet Roses, which I just showed you, I got the figure from that today, or one of two of the pieces from it. Bubbly Bath. Don't have the Bouncy Castle. Still missing a bunch of these Vacation Fun ones. So it's kind of amazing because, you know, I look at my collection and I'm like, wow, I feel like I have it all, and I definitely don't. There's not a ton in 97, but they are kind of hard to come by in good condition or complete. As you may have seen in my spreadsheet, I do have Magical Move in Fairyland, but it's trashed. It's totally trashed. So I basically consider not having that. So that's kind of what I'm on the hunt for right now. I think my biggest one that I really, really, really would like to get my hands on is the Style and Salon, just to feel kind of at peace with the fact that I have recollected my childhood collection. But there's so many things out there that I would love to add to my collection over the next few years. So anyway, just putting that out there. I do have a few more things that I am expecting to get in the next week or so. So I'm going to do a video as that comes into my collection and keep you updated. But how about we now just go check out the shelves and see what that looks like at the moment. Okay, so I am up with my collection now, and I've kind of run out of space. So I have started to stack some things. So this is an area where I have a lot of the larger compacts, my Enchanted Storybooks, my two different Starlight Castles. Moving over here, I have some of my Vacation Fun up there, some of my vehicles. Those are those little, I can't remember what this collection's called. Anyway, they all have jewels in them. Some ring boxes and my Pet Parade stuff, some of the Pony Parade stuff. Compacts, I have two sections of them down the sides, and I don't know if you can tell with my lighting here, but I have them all color coded. We're sort of ordered that way. Polyville is front and center in the middle of my cabinet. There is my beloved supermarket. I also very dearly love my children's hospital. And there is that Starshine Palace that I just got that does not have the bottle stopper or any of the stuff with it, but I do try to just put anything onto the shelves if it's the first that I have. And then moving over here, here is my other, sorry, bear with me with my lighting. Here is my other compacts. You can see my color gradient that I've tried to do. And I'm just gonna drag my footstool over here. And then up top, just some other remaining pieces. This is kind of random, but my Clubhouse, Dolphin Island, my two sort of Fabergé egg style ones are tucked in there. My watch / bracelet area. Here's that pool party one I showed you recently. My Jewel Magic Ball, my hat box, and my Starbright dinner party. And then these are McDonald's toys. So I have a lot going on in here with my cabinets, but that's sort of what we're looking at the moment. Then of course I also have my lockets there. So just a lot going on in general up here in my collection, but that's where we're sitting at right now. So it is kind of full, that's the downside. So I'm probably gonna have to find another solution soon, because I don't have everything in here. I do have some other stuff as well. So then I have another just like floor cabinet here that has random stuff in it. So there is the Magical Move in Polyville. So this is the stuff that I'm keeping. So none of these are my duplicates. This is all the stuff I intend to keep. Some additional McDonald's stuff, a random ring, the purse that I showed you, Those are my sealed puzzles. I did actually do one of the puzzles the other day. I did buy 2 sets of these so that I could open one without feeling guilty. Lots more stuff. There's a poly puzzle that is, I can't remember what it's called. It's a huge play set from like 1991. That is the wedding one. This is my trashed, and I mean trashed, Magical Move in Fairyland. Like, look at the sticker at the back. It is trashed. Just look at that, trashed. Those are my Starlight Castle. I have one that is sealed in the original Mattel packaging. My mansion, my Magical Mansion box, and some of my sealed sets are haphazardly piled in here. I hope I didn't give anyone anxiety with that. So there is that stuff as well. All right, so I'm sorry for all of the chaotic energy there all over the place, but it's hard keeping a collection together and keeping it organized and making sure that you're keeping track of things. And then on the same, at the same time, we're trying to find all the missing pieces for stuff that we want but don't like have complete yet. And what's a duplicate, and do I want to sell it, or do I want to wait until I have more pieces for it? Like, it's really overwhelming at times. So that's why I found that, just doing my spreadsheet from scratch would be the best thing to do, because now I'm able to go through my spreadsheet and just check of all of the loose figures and pieces that I've checked in. Do I have those sets? And if so, are they missing anything? And are these any of my missing pieces? And then go back from there. So there's kind of stages to doing it, but I find that that's the best way for me to stay organized moving forward. And also promising myself that I actually am going to catalog things as I get them. I think that's a huge part of the problem. It's just that I was putting it off, and then it just fell apart. So love to know your thoughts on the collection, some of the stuff I picked up. And I know, again, a lot of it looks totally random, but to me, it's like, these are things that I want to have in my collection, or I think might be good to have down the road as I collect other things. So that's what I came up with today. As always, love to hear your thoughts in the comments, but also in December, I am hoping to do a video where I can answer some of your questions about my collection. So if you've got any questions for me about collecting Polly Pockets, about anything related to my channel, please feel free to drop those in the comments on this video too. And then in a few weeks, I will do a video answering your questions from today's comments. So drop some questions in the comments for me and I will get to them. Anyway, as always, if you have not yet, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, you don't have to pay anything, just hit the subscribe button. Also like the video, it helps out the channel so much. If you're on Instagram, come follow me along on Instagram too, over at Pocket Vintage Toys. That's where, as I get more stuff, I like to share it in my collection. And again, I do have a lot more stuff coming in the mail. But I'm excited to share that with you. So that's the best place to get a sneak peek. Instagram, Pocket Vintage Toys is my handle. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.